Eh, look, my favorite patient. What happened? They tell you all kind of misinformation and propaganda. You don't know who to trust. No, you don't trust nobody. Oh no, 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 no. Hold on, hold on. Let me sit down and talk about this. Let me sit down and talk about this. Trust. Oh yes, trust is a big topic, huh? I'm sorry you feel a little scared, maybe even panic. When it comes to trusting, that is normal. But I think your problem is not just about what or who to trust. I think it's more so about how to trust. To be honest, propaganda has always existed. As long as we have our mouth moving, you're going to hear people saying all sorts of things. And a lot of times, misinformation and propaganda, it depends or it's relative to who's talking. If it aligns with your beliefs or if it doesn't, depends if it's propaganda or not, right? So that's relative. But let's focus more about how to trust. You know, you ever hear the saying that a person could do all the right things for the wrong reason? Or they could do all the wrong things but really have good intention? That's because trust is not just based on the action, but also the character. Now, when it comes to a provider, right? You only know them in a professional setting. You don't know them personally. So, how would you know what kind of character a person has? Well, you have to listen. Yes, listen carefully. Not just what is being said, but what is not being said, right? You want to listen for the tone of a person, right? Are they coming across authoritarian, and dogmatic, like I am the provider, I know best, right? Or when they talk, are they sparking reason and thoughts within you, right? Listen carefully. Also, if you provide research, right? You say, oh, this is what I found, right? Would they laugh at you or scorn at you, discredit you? You don't know what you're talking about, right? Or are they open to discuss, right? So you're looking for these signs. And it's important because we look for communities, we look for um, providers that we could trust. We want everybody want a space where they know their source of information is credible, reliable, and trustworthy. That they have good intent. But and finding this space is really good. It's a really good process. We really vet people, and that is excellent, excellent, excellent. However, the danger comes is that when we find this space, then whatever this person says or whatever information they feed us, we take in indiscriminatory, and not that we try to vilify people. We're not vilifying people. There are people out there, don't get me wrong, there are people out there with bad intention. And, they're just really not out for your best interests. But most people, especially people who have worked really hard to establish credibility, that's not their intention. But it goes into what our problems with trust is. You see, trust is based on truth. We all know this, right? Like Caesar told no, it wasn't Caesar, it was Pilate. Pilate told Jesus, "What is truth?" But that shines light into a really important part that we're going to talk about because truth is not just limited to cold hard facts. And a lot of people say, well, if you give me the facts, then this must be the truth, right? And truth has a measure of subjectivity to it. Let me break it down. Truth is based on principle, and a principle is a fundamental fundamental truth. I'll give you an example. You're driving, right? And the law say, you see the sign, 45 miles per hour, right? But you're driving, it's dark, it's rainy, you never been on this road before, right? And it's so foggy, you can't even see outside, right? So even though you have all the facts and all the right to go 45 miles per hour, right? Within your experience and within the truth of the situation around you, right? You may choose to go 25 miles per hour. You might even choose to pull aside at the side of the road and ease up, call a friend, right? See, even though you have facts, right? The principle encompasses your personal experience.
The principle encompasses your personal experience.
So when it comes to making a decision, right? You have to make a decision based on principle, not just emotion. Emotions have you say, I trust whatever they say, or I didn't trust nobody at all. Yes, that's all emotional. Principle requires you to sit down and take out your pen and your paper. And when you're taking information, hold off your judgment, right? Yes, it might be old and familiar, but that does not mean that it is correct. It may be new and unfamiliar, but that does not mean that it is incorrect, right? So you sit down and you're taking your information, right? And then when you're taking your information, right, you want to think, like Arita say, think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think. Let your mind go. Let yourself be free. Oh, freedom, freedom. Oh, freedom. Do, 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 do. Yeah, where there is thought, there is freedom, right? So you want to sit down and you think about what is positive in this information, what is negative in this information, right? And then you want to balance the information, what you're hearing, based on pros and cons. I like to say have a triangle. So you on one end and the thing requiring trust on the other end. And that middle point I like to call your anchor. And for everybody, their anchor is different. I am not here to judge you, right? So some people, their anchor is friends and family. They like to talk things through. Some people, their anchor is the experts. They just want to hear what the experts have to say. Some people, their anchor is their personal experience. So their familiarity or their background in whatever it is, they like to go and delve in this aspect. And for other people, their anchor is their higher power or the creator, God. Many different people, we're all different, so many different people have different anchors, right? Not here to judge. But as you are processing information, your anchor is what grounds you to know, hmm, this is what I need to trust. This information is what I'm going to take in based on my experience. See, when you go through the process of thinking, right, you should be able to clearly identify what your risks are. What is the benefit of trusting this thing? And what are the alternative actions that you can take if you choose not to trust? See, doing this process, I'll tell you, and harnessing this thought about trust will help you make, stand by, and be confident and stable in your decision. Not just your decision to take, but sometimes a decision given more information may need to be adjusted. And doing this process helps you to be humble when you're making a decision and not ego driven, where this is the only decision to be made, right? See, a lot of trust is based on truth, and a lot of truth is based on vulnerability. And a lot of times you may encounter a provider who does not want to be vulnerable, does not want to say, I don't know, I cannot give you guarantees, or I do not know the full scope. You see, because we kind of set them up like, your word is truth and everything you say and your perspective is right. And because we did that, they have big shoes to fill. And so now they feel as though I have to tell you and I have to show up and I have to use my ego and tell you what to do. And then maybe it might work out, maybe it might not work out, but at the end of the day, we like to blame someone and they get blamed. So we're taking away the power. Remember freedom? We're taking away the power, right? And we're putting the power into our hands. No, you don't need a bunch of education. You have enough. You are enough. You have experience, life experience, right? You don't know everything, but you know where to go to find out more information, right? So find out all the information you need and spend some time processing it, right? Harness your thought about trust, and you will find that it is easier to be able to trust, right? And you would find that for yourself, you would have less apprehension when it comes to taking in information because you know how to process it and not be fooled. Okay? So put a smile on your face. It's gonna be okay, right? Just take your time, right? You have time. Take your time, think and process, and you will find that trust will come. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. Okay? Smile.